I just want to apologize to everybody that my wardrobe does not change from a gray and black shirt.
Yeah, I tend to just have what seems to be, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually one of my favorite shirts, Metroidvania, Master of Backtracking. You know, shout outs to Metallica, Master of Puppets, and of course, one of my favorite series, Metroid. Actually, this is definitely one of my favorite shirts. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Loading Screen.
Hello. Turn my lights up.
Oh, yeah. Turn it up, man. Turn it up. You're in the dark too much. This is Loading Screen. God, I'm gonna get through this intro. Welcome to Loading Screen. This is your morning podcast to cue your day up with. I'm of course Dre, aka Crash, and with me, as usual, Bam, Alex, aka Sir Scrowlix. Come on, man, don't leave me hanging. Yeah, there you go. Of course.
Ow.
This show.
I just like hyperextended my elbow.
That looked pretty
How's that
fierce.
for a high five?
That was pretty fierce. I haven't had any coffee and I'm starting to get energized. But of course, this show is brought to you by, of course, and supported by ZipChair and Mike and Ike. Thank you. Thanks to them for, of course, letting us do what we can do and be completely act fools early in the morning like this. Borderline, early in the morning. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. We're at lunchtime, but this is gamer time. This is how it is.
I'm very tired.
It's like rapper time. It's an hour late to everything at all times. That's how it be, baby. But man, we're back to new week. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff hitting
so
the fan.
Much shit going on.
Straight
Dude,
up.
I just realized. So we're this is literally the hangover from the Xbox Series X showcase. I just realized we haven't done a show in between, so it's kind of where we get to share all of our thoughts on that. Which I'm very curious to share yours. I know
What?
There's two-parter, guys. If you guys go back to watch the Xbox Series X showcase, it's a two-parter.
Once again, thanks, Griffin. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Griff. For those guys that don't know, Griff was running a broadcast while we were doing our show, and then
just knocked us off the air. He was like, "Get out of here!" By mistake.
Disrespect, bro.
He did it by mistake. But if you haven't had a chance to check out, we did live coverage last week on the showcase. It was fun to do. Really, it was a great time. It was awesome to see. But we have some aftermath, some things to talk about from that. And apparently we're going to talk about cable TV and some networks coming back that I was not expecting to come back.
Yeah,
ever.
no,
ever. And then some brand new one that has some fun, I think some flaws in it. But I mean, I could be wrong. But, I'll have my insights, my hot takes. Real quick.
I mean, G4's coming back, so it's not just
spoilers.
It's not
man. We're gonna talk about this later. God, I said some networks, man. This is why we need to do meetings.
Some networks,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is why we have to do meetings and stuff for all the things we do, so we can get on the same page, sir. But regardless, speaking of meetings, actually, this is a good segue into it. One of the things we tend to cover here, I tend to cover a lot or keep my eye on is like the fighting game community.
Yep.
It's one of the It's one of the communities that have been, we've all been affected by the pandemic, of course. But like fighting games have been in this weird, super awkward phase because you can't take like the games and take them to a competitive level online to the same degree as other games.
Yeah, it thrives in person.
It definitely thrives in person. It's what it was built off of, as far back as to the old days of the arcade and such, right? Like, because that apparently was a million years ago. But it's been kind of like turbulent over the past couple months on top of all the other things that have been on fire. Some news came up where a lot of the publishers, Capcom, Bandai Namco, ArcSys, SNK, Arika, Koei Tecmo, responsible for a lot of games that are hot right now. Samurai Showdown, your Street Fighters, your Guilty Gears that are going to be coming out next year, Tekken, stuff like that. They've been surprisingly quiet throughout the month. This is supposed to be the month where we have EVO, which is the World Championships for it. That got canceled. That got canned. So like a lot of time for like big announcements. Obviously, all eyes on these kinds of IP in this community. It's the perfect
you guys
time
have been
to
left
announce.
You guys have been left
to dry,
hung out to dry.
Yeah, straight up. Because it's the perfect time to announce new DLC, expansions, game reveals, trailers. Because all eyes are on this. It makes sense. It's from a marketing standpoint, makes sense. They went quiet post the event getting canceled, and we finally got some information. So there's going to be a Japanese fighting game publishers roundtable stream happening. It's going to be on the 1st of August, 9 a.m. Japan time. That's actually the 31st for us here on the East Coast at 8 p.m. So it's actually a pretty solid time. It's kind of prime time for us. So I'll be up to watch it. Hopefully there's subtitles or translations somewhere in there, but it's going to be a roundabout table talk between all these developers. There's going to be announcements that have been confirmed. They're going to announce characters. Soul Calibur Tekken's going to have announcements. Guilty Gear is going to have a new character announced. But
wait, so all these producers are going to be like kind of like in the same room, just
that's what
about.
That's how it's
That'd be kind of cool.
That's what it's being like perceived
Presented
as.
I mean,
yeah, it's supposed to be perceived
yeah.
as. I would love like a presentation like that where you have all these unbelievable legends of the industry that have lasted so long, that have created these IPs or have worked on these IPs to these levels, in like just a round table discussion about like, yo, our shit is so fucked. How's your shit happening? Like, oh no, our shit's fucked too. Like, all right, cool. All our shit is fucked. This is what we've been talking about.
Let's get through this together.
My main thing is like, I want to hear discussions about things like net play and stuff. These have been very, very hot topics that, you know, unfortunately, out of all the games that these developers represent, none of these made the cut for when it was actually supposed to be online. None of these have good enough net play right now that they were like, yeah, we can still. I mean, Capcom still is doing their online event for like their tour, but that right now is like, it's out of I think it's like 6 total, six events they've ran. At least half of them have had issues in terms of lag, in terms of connectivity.
I guess they don't put their resources in that area.
It was
they never really had to.
It was a big gut check for the community in general as to like, yo, like, you guys really cannot survive. So it was a trip to see that. So finally, like, I'm hoping, this is what I'm like really craving for. I'm kind of like speculating a little bit, but I hope net play is a topic that they're going to talk about, you know, how they're pivoting. There's been a lot of talk about like how a lot of these companies, I discussed this in another show previously, but you know, these companies, when it comes to like net play and stuff, they keep everything in-house, right? They develop their internal network solutions to connect their products, right? They don't outsource. If you're into fighting games, you might be aware of like a product called GGPO. It's used actually in more than just fighting games, but it is an open source net play product that you can incorporate into your game to give you like really good low latency, good connectivity. It's rollback versus delay based networking. I can get super geeky with it, but it's been out there and it's been licensed several times by other developers for like older games, but you don't see these current developers use it for their current games, and it's because of certain business practices and logistics. Like, imagine you develop a whole piece and you outsource one piece to just me, and now you're like kind of giving me the responsibility. So if something breaks and it's not on your part, it's on like the part that I did, like you don't have full control over that. So there's like a lot of risk and stuff taken into that. That's what a lot of these companies have like in the past have shown is how they practice this. So it's, I think I've heard in the past now, like in the past couple tweets or, you know, around the water cooler, that like they're becoming more open-minded about it. I'm hoping this meeting talks about that. It's a really big freaking deal right now. What's going to go down?
And this is happening on August 1st?
August 1st, Japan, 31st for us here in NA. Yeah, because it's 14-hour difference.
Because they live in the future,
They're in the future, man. We are living in the past, and we are just getting their messages that, you know, from the future. It's actually pretty awesome to think about. But yeah, this was a big freaking deal. This happened over the past couple days. Like the announcement. So like a lot of eyes are going to be on this right now, because I'm from the fighting game community. That's why I say we. But we are struggling right now. It is hard.
Are you gonna touch on this in Cara Cancel? Like, is this something that you would bring up?
I mean, well, Cara Cancel's tomorrow. By the way, if you guys want to check out some sessions, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Very nice plug.
Thank you. Yes, I want to talk. I'm going to talk about it in Cara Cancel. I want to talk to MJ about it. But like, this isn't obviously going to happen until Friday. But yeah, it's. I'm just waiting for it. It's a big deal.
Good.
I hope we just get some light, give some water. It's like you've been out in the desert long enough, man, and you're just like just a sprinkling of water, something like cactus juice, something, you know, like hit me with it. But yeah, this was ridiculous.
Good, man. I'm glad you guys are getting something.
Yeah, dude, it's been rough. It's rough out here for a pimp. It's rough out here for a pimp.
Oh my God. I mean,
But regardless,
you know,
past this, we got Halo, man. We got a lot of talk about Halo from last week, so I know I got a couple tabs here open for that. So
bruh,
let's just jump right into it.
I am, so for those guys that watched live last time, or the last episode we did was the Xbox Series X showcase, and obviously Halo Infinite was probably, in my mind, the big fish there. I know a lot of people like they ended on Fable, you know, which is cool. I didn't think they would do that, but they did.
So awesome.
So that's cool. But Halo Infinite. Okay, so a few things. If you guys watched it, I hope you enjoyed it. I personally really enjoyed what I saw. But I'd be lying if the whole texture thing didn't go through my head at least once. So for those of you guys that don't know, I'll fill you in here. They're using a new engine called Slipspace Engine, which you know, to me, when I heard new engine, I was like, all right, so it's gonna look different. It's gonna look different than it did before because they're using a whole new engine. People were really upset about it. Like if you look at these pictures, like obviously they all look kind of flat. You know, the textures look flat and everything. So you know, it brought up the question like, oh, like a lot of people were posting saying like, oh, this game looks like shit. You know, how can they put this game out? This is not next gen. Halo 1 looked better than this, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like,
okay, now you're just being mean.
Literally, people said that. Yeah, and I was like, all right, look, first of all, people like to complain because that's what people do. Like they'll always find something to complain. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. But that being said, aside from my own personal opinions, like I said, I didn't think it looked bad. I thought it looked different. But at the same time, it's not like, oh, this game looks like shit, I'm not playing it, blah, 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 blah. You're always going to have people that'll be like, oh, this game looks absolutely terrible. I'm not playing it. This is why Sony is so much better, et cetera, et cetera. Like, oh, like Last of Us 2 cost blah blah blah, and this costs 500 million. This is what 500 million is going to get you.
Yeah, the comparisons will always come out. It'll always come out.
Yeah, and so here's my thing. Stop. Just shut up.
Public service announcement here.
Stop complaining about the way this game looks. It looks different, okay? And like, okay, you could say I'm biased, right? But like, here's the thing. It's a new engine. So, and I thought it looked pretty good. But anyway, there's more to this. Basically, there's more to an engine than just textures, right? Like, there's more to it. So hold on. Xbox, obviously, Infinite got word of this. They got wind of everybody complaining and bitching about their game. So the Xbox lead guy, or not lead guy, I think
the lead guy. That's his official.
I'm sorry, I'm hype as shit right now.
Lead guy.
I'm hype as hell right now. So I'm trying to pull up the thing here. It was like a lead marketing dude.
What did you do?
It was a lead marketing dude at 343.
Oh, I was the lead guy, by the way. That says right
here.
Yeah,
the lead guy
for the past 3 years. My job duties included leading that guy and leading those dudes over there. Sorry, go on.
Okay, so,
I'm not over that. Lead guy. I want that on a resume.
Lead
so
guy.
Bad.
Lead guy. So Greenberg, I forget what his role is at 343, but he basically said, and this is literally as I quote, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. It's July. We're far from the holiday season. You're seeing a work-in-progress game. You probably watch the stream, and then he goes to say, you probably watch the stream in 1080p. Maybe. So we have to put a 4K 60 on-demand stream. So people, I'd say, go back to look at the game in 4K, not 1080. And he said, we did that deliberately. It's very hard to show the full power and graphic fidelity of what Xbox Series X will be able to deliver over a stream. Okay, timeout. I feel mixed reviews about this quote here, okay? Because, okay, look, yes, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, people need to understand that. People are working from home. People might make the argument that, oh, well, Last of Us 2 came out, it looked fantastic. They were in the middle of a pandemic. Different development cycles, even Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk should have been done in the spring. It wasn't. Should have been done into September. It wasn't. Now they push it to November, okay? Different development cycles, right? They're like, oh, if Cyberpunk could pull this off or Last of Us could pull this off when that was being released, why can't Halo pull this off, right? Few things, like I just said. Different development cycles come with different looking games, right? Yeah. Like if this game was supposed to be released, let's say this month, I'm sure, and they had more time to work. Like I'm sure Cyberpunk had more development before COVID started, and I'm sure Last of Us 2 had more development before COVID started than Halo, whose development cycle is part of COVID now, right? So like, yes, it's going to look different. Outside of that, so that's where I'm saying, like, guys, ease up on the brakes. We still have some months, right? So, you know, the article that I sent you this morning is like, Halo's going to look better and better. Mm-hmm. You know what? Part of me is glad, because part of me is like, all right, look, if they know the community is upset with the way it looks right now, maybe they'll polish some things or add some more textures when it comes to it, when it becomes released in November. He said it's a work in progress game. I get that.
Yeah, people are real quick to just, you know, obviously they're gonna judge within less than a second, yes. Right? Yeah. Just throwing it out there, Halo always looked good. Never was one of those games for me that I went to like, that's the peak of next generation graphics. Yeah. Halo has never been that.
It's always been about the gameplay, the story.
Does it look better every time? Yes. Is it the graphic defining game of a generation? No, never. No, so I don't know where this thought process of like Halo has to be, but the other side is because they see the big $500 million development.
Right.
Where's that
new
going?
Console? You know,
like that's where people are correlating that. The first thing they'll correlate it to is just like graphics. This has to fucking blow my mind into the next dimension. I have to be fourth dimension mind to see the pixels. Like, nah, dog. That's not even close. Do you even have a 4K TV, man? Are you even looking at it? Like,
let's relax, guy.
Last I checked, I think 1080p is still like the most common resolution gamers play nowadays. If we even look up Steam like surveys and shit, so it's like, come on, man. Maybe 440p, but like regardless, Halo doesn't strike me. These complaints, like really, they're just like, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you can complain to complain. I get why you're saying it. $500 million. Why is the difference? It's kind of skewed there between like The Last of Us and this. You're right. Development cycles are different. Artistic styles very different too. You know, the ways what they prioritize is different. Like the presentation in Last of Us probably different from Halo, but Halo's gonna have way more shit for you to do and action and than you'll ever see in any Last of Us game, right? There's a difference there. So if you want us, you could go with that same mindset of like, well, $500 million went here. Well, Last of Us spent this amount of money and look how bad their action is. I can play the game. You can play the game too with any game, just doing that. Like, see, like it's like you can skew it. It's
like, I mean, part of that $500 million goes into storytelling. It goes into a bunch of other shit.
I can imagine marketing. Maybe, maybe
marketing.
unless development is this is strictly development. I don't know 100%.
I don't think it's dude. $500 million on just purely development is like,
but regardless, the game looks good, looks better than the previous Halo, and it's a work in progress. It's gonna get better. Yeah, it's okay.
So two things. They didn't help themselves out when they didn't. You know what would have solved all of this?
What?
Putting work in progress on the screen during the stream.
That would have.
Like, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that?
That is true.
You know, unless the dude forgot to turn the layer on when he was exporting the video.
Oh my God! There goes my job,
dude. Jimmy the intern just lost his freaking job.
Jimmy done fucked up.
But that being said, Greenberg goes on to reaffirm that build updates are okay. So this is another thing that Halo Infinite is. They're going to be getting rid of, which this is kind of new to me because I haven't really heard much about. We haven't heard much about what the development cycle is going to be, but Halo Infinite is basically going to be an ever-working game. They said they're going to be supporting this one at least. I think they said for like it was either 5 or 10 years, one or the other. But this is going to be an ever-changing game, which is interesting because they're trying something new that Halo fans are not accustomed to. So it'll be interesting. But he goes on to say, trust us, when you play this holiday, it's going to be a visual showcase for the Xbox Series X. So there's some hope. But also, I don't think that somebody should really be saying, oh, well, you were probably watching the stream in 1080p. You should go watch it in 4K. Like, really, bro? Don't stoop to that level, bro.
That's a little weak sauce.
Yeah, like, that doesn't help your argument. But regardless, like I said, I'm excited. You guys know I'm biased. You guys know Halo is my favorite game of all time. So I'm biased. But yeah, so that's that.
Can't please everybody all the time, man.
No, you can't. We can talk about it a little bit later because I know I really want to talk about the new network things coming out. But I played Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh God! What? Wait,
like,
that was
yeah!
fast. Hold up,
Yeah!
hold up. You were just on last show.
Yeah!
If we hit the rewind button, whoever is doing the marketing assets next week, just really quick, play the clip. Okay, see, he said he wasn't going to do that, but he did. So, and I had
at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. yesterday, at 5 p.m. yesterday, I was making fun of my friend because he said he bought it. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait at 5 p.m. I'm just gonna wait until it comes out on PS5, right? Or I'm just gonna wait till the PS5 comes out. At 9 p.m. last night, at 9 p.m.
You
last
were
night,
never going to
I said,
last.
you know what? Screw it. I'm just
middle
gonna buy
of eating
it.
dinner, just I'm gonna
I
buy
have to say,
it.
you don't. Can confirm. Can confirm. It's fantastic. Next confirm. Great. My impressions of it. I don't know if we have time for. I'll do impressions of it. But you know, real quick, if anybody was thinking about waiting until the PS5 comes out to get it because of graphic fidelity and stuff like that,
it's not.
It's drop dead gorgeous on the original PS4. It's drop dead gorgeous. Like, you can't even tell.
The Pro's probably gonna be better too in some ways. Maybe more stability, but like
it's a little more crisp.
But yeah,
okay,
so
go ahead.
kind of in the final stretch of the show today, one thing that we want to bring up that just seems to be the thing nowadays, like, you know, buy more, you know, it's like the equivalent, like, buy more stock, sell. Well, apparently right now, it's about gamer TV networks coming back. So this dropped on the 24th. This was about 4 days ago. I think that was Saturday. Let me just verify. That was actually Friday. You know, the mother of all trailers dropped that just blew everybody's minds. There's very few trailers that, you know, in 4 days will come up with 3.5 million views on Twitter. That is just like, wow, amazing. Such fidelity. And the everlasting question of why follows up is like, never has happened to that extent before. So for those that have had a chance to check out the trailer, you know that this got dropped out of nowhere. I had heard inklings of it, but I wasn't sure. But now it's been more than confirmed.
Time out. If you guys hear a leaf blower in the background, they are literally leaf blowing the mulch pits outside of my house. So I apologize for that. Continue, Dre.
It's all good. Yeah, this was the point that I was like, okay, we don't know what we're getting into. It just seems to be gamer related, and then this just drops, and I had to, thank God they put a date there because I didn't know what exactly. I had to really look at a calendar and be like, really? We're bringing back G4. G4 is coming back. I have not seen anything else past this trailer. There is nothing else besides like an apparent event on Reddit that's going to be happening this Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Reddit with the actual VP of Content Partnerships and Brand Development. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. G4, when it comes to gamers that you've known have lived through that era, like, have a lot of reservations, especially by the end of G4. You know, when it was just cops. What is it? X-Play.
Yep.
A couple other things, but you know, the people that are kind of like hold a grudge know, like, you know, once G4 took Tech TV, they fucking killed a bunch of other shows that we you know, the Screensaver being one of them. I remember Cinematech. I have fond memories of G4. I have not had the inkling to be like, yo, you know what, that should come back. Apparently, like, as if do you remember, like, you remember watching G4 like that, Alex?
Oh,
Like,
all the time.
You
Yeah.
remember that, right? Okay. Like
Yeah.
it was fire early on. Like a lot of what is it?
Actually, I really enjoyed
Battlegrounds
watching it, dude.
or what is it? Was it Battlegrounds, Cheaters before it was like before Cheaters the show ended up being in there, like where it was actually about fidelity and shit like that in relationships, when it was actually Cheaters, you know, the codes presented by Pringles. Like, I don't know if you remember that, but it was like a sponsorship at the time, and it was all about codes and shit. It was a different era. It was a different era. But apparently, not is it enough that G4 is coming back, which we still don't know until this AMA happens where that's happening, if that's going to platform,
If it's going to be Twitch,
if it's Twitch, if it's cable TV.
Because I can tell you right now, I don't have cable, so if it's on cable, I ain't watching it, and I guarantee you, there's a million other people like that.
This is the follow-up, so you know, not only do you get a chance to, you know, not look at G4 because whatever, but then we also had the trailer of not so much, you know,
Ben.
not as you know, impressive a 3.5 million views, still you know, 500,000 views almost. Ven, which is, as I'm quoting from their site, which I think it's like ven.tv. What is Ven? Ven is a new kind of TV network for the streaming generation, aimed at gaming, pop culture, and esports audiences. Beta launches August 2020, live from LA, and later through World Trade Center in New York. Ven will be distributed along a long range of media platforms to offer original programming, produced in-house in partnership with some of the biggest names, creators across the industries. Here are some of the
AKA,
creators.
we've got a lot of money.
AKA, yes, a lot of money. I mean, if you're going to put up a network in any way, shape, or form, it is. The fact that this is, first of all, like some of these, Sushi Dragon is such a great pickup. Like that is, if his show is nothing less than what you think LSD is like, then I don't want to watch it. Some other ones
Seriously, go watch some videos.
Yeah, definitely go check out Sushi Dragon on Twitch. His channel is amazing. There are definitely some others here that you might recognize as well, like Matt Morello, known, you know, recently the most easy way you can know him from is from the Overwatch League, being a talent there. But this is supposed to be a 24/7 channel, which I am very confused in this, because this is a new kind of TV network for the streaming generation. I'm just once again wondering if this is supposed to be on cable, because your viewership on cable is just going to be non-existent, because the streaming generation is like an oxymoron. A TV network
literally
for streaming
generation.
It's like kind of weird to me, that sentence, because this generation doesn't, like, they watch TV, but they don't watch cable TV. They watch subscriptions. Whether it's, you know, even if it's you're talking to channels like HBO Max or, you know, for the NBA or whatever, like that's like the most you'll get. Not a lot of people not a lot of like that generation tend to, like, people do watch TV, but like not the #1 place they go to. But the fact that they kind of like came back and said across a broad range of media platforms, distributed across a broad range of media platforms.
I think they're using TV network as like a channel, basically. Like, they're using TV network as a more formal way of saying, we're going to basically have a channel that you can watch. Like, if you go, like, I wonder, like, maybe they'll go on smart TVs and
they have an app specifically,
you know, Apple TV and apps. But I mean, the trailer looks cool. They have a lot of big names. I'm kind of like, I get what they're trying to do here. Like, you can see like they're trying to incorporate gaming, and then you see like lifestyle clips too. Which is cool, you know. And but I don't know, man. It's the
set is sick.
Clearly it's been in the works for a while. Like, look at that studio. You don't just just pop that up out of nowhere.
No, I think this has been in the work. 2019, there was like, I think Kraft was like one of the major investors for this early on, in like Series A or something like 11 or 12 million dollars. This is just off the top of my dome. Whatever space I have left in this hard drive is what I'm peeling it from. I got to defrag at some point. But like, it's interesting, it's cool, it's hip, you know, it's new. Like I was just about to be like, you know, LED lights and colors.
I mean, the tech looks awesome.
As I look behind me, I'm like, yep, check. That's current. The main thing is it's the content. If like any network TV, if you're pulling this 24/7, like the amount of content that you have to quote unquote recycle or the programming you have is especially for gaming and for if you're trying to do esports, like they have
What's
to have
going to
like a
be the
super
replay cycle on this? Like,
they
at what point,
have
at
to
what
have
hour in the day
oh
are they going to
god
recycle it?
yeah like I mean also like the
We could make
rights
loading screen 24
the
hours, but people would be watching.
we could. I mean, you could put Jeff Kaplan in front of a fireplace log during the holidays and stuff for like 12, 16 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, thousands of people will watch. I mean, how hard can it be, right? But
Right.
it's just like the same deal when it comes to hardware, right? It's the content here. Like the hardware is the channel name, and the software that needs to push it for everyone to watch it is the content here. August 5th is the supposed beta, so I'm very intrigued. I am very interested to see as to what it's gonna be. But the fact that we have not only one channel with Ven, which is supposed to be a more updated G4, but
And
yet we
G4 is
also
like a
have
zombie
G4
coming back to
back.
life.
But G4 has nostalgia in it. G4 was an actual TV, was an actual gaming network for years before streaming platforms and such. So they have experience there, but like and obviously with the history of developing original shows, like I said, X-Play, and if these guys have to do it to that extent to even be remotely close to being successful in any way, shape, or form. The studio doesn't seem that. I mean, I don't say it's not crazy. It's a very awesome looking studio, but like the return on that too, like the investment on all that equipment, all of that, like you're oh god, there's so many. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. In an age where anyone can go to anyone's stream, be entertained for however many hours, retention and such, I'm like, who asked for this? Is my question. It's like, how did this end up like being like it's cool.
I don't know if it's who asked for it. I don't know if it's who asked for it, but I'll be dead up honest with you, dude. I used to have, when I was doing homework, I used to have G4 up in the background. And like I don't really watch TV right now, but I'm sure, I watch TV, but there isn't really, I don't know, in all honesty, I don't really think there's that much good content on TV right now, right? So like maybe this is something I will have on in the background all the time.
That is true. It's such a strange time. It's 2020, and we're just getting two gaming networks like popping up. It's
well,
very...
did you think it wasn't going to happen with the blow up of the gaming industry? I mean, think about it. This is
True.
like, okay, esports is kind of blowing up esports been around for a while, but let's say in the last few years, esports has kind of started blowing up on a trajectory that's skyrocketing, right? And then all of a sudden COVID happens, and all of a sudden you have millions of new gamers, millions of people diving into the gaming industry, and they saw their opportunity and they're like, you know what, let's do it. But it begs the question, you still don't, I mean, obviously there's a risk. There's always going to be a risk involved whenever it comes to any type of
endeavor like this. Yeah, you might be pushing
form of entertainment, right?
I gotta sign. I have to sign in to look at videos. This is how you know I definitely
really
use Instagram. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I can't.
But they also have a lot of big names here. So
yeah, they definitely have some names here. Some new to me, some not so new. Then some I'm just like, not until before they show. I was like, huh, sounds familiar. Yeah. I wonder if I should Google that name in public. Not gonna go any further than that, but yeah. So Ven, G4 TV, on the rise. Ven, August 5th. Like we're gonna be seeing some movement by next week. August 5th is next Friday, I believe, right? Oh no, that's Wednesday. Okay, that's Wednesday. But then we have, of course, August 1st. We have the whole Reddit
this weekend.
Ask me anything that's happening this weekend. Yeah, let me just make sure I get that confirmed. Yes, ask me anything that's gonna be on the on the subreddit G4 TV.
I don't know. Whose idea was that?
How many? We've got 2,800 members, 47 online. Yeah.
And they're going to be bringing back a network.
Yep.
I don't know. I think what makes us a little hesitant is we saw what happened to G4. We saw what happened to it.
Yeah, we saw it get gutted.
And so we
saw what happened.
Yeah, and it kind of begs the question, okay, like, I mean, yes, esports and gaming has grown in the last few years, more so than it was, I think, when G4 went into the can. But like, what are they going to do different now?
Can't play cops no more.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that got pulled from cable, son. Sorry, not to get political here, but I think that's just what happened. So I don't know what G4 is gonna do. Whew. No idea. How you gonna not run those cop reruns?
That'd be interesting.
What kind of world?
It's going to be GTA RP cops. That's
oh, dude, that's a million. That's $1 million idea right there. Dude,
trademark
G4,
NSGTV.
G4. If you want to talk to us, please hit up Sir Scrallix on Twitter.
It's my idea, guys. My idea.
Oh my God, RP. Oh my God, GTRP. That'd be disgustingly fun. But regardless, we'll wait. We'll have the more ideas for next week. But that's it for us this week. Your day has been loaded up, guys. Yo, what's up, Lud? Thanks for tuning in. Unfortunately, we're at the end of our show right now. We just finished up. But thanks for hanging out, guys, for those that have been chilling. Oh,
I have some news for y'all. Okay.
Oh, okay, Rando.
You know, obviously this is podcast show, talk show podcast. Pretty soon, all of our shows will be available on podcast platforms. So,
real soon.
If you guys
hear our voices everywhere.
Yes. So, for those of you guys that prefer the audio version versus going to Twitch, we'll keep you guys updated with that. But
absolutely. But yeah, once again, thanks for everyone that came through. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Once again, thanks for everyone coming through. I appreciate you guys stopping by. We will be live, of course, again on Thursday, 11 Eastern Standard Time. And for those that are fighting game players out there that happen to be chilling, Carry Cancel tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Street Fighter, and I think we're doing KI. So come through if you want to get some sets in, of course, right here on the Nursery Gamers Twitch page. And you of course, can follow Nursery Gamers on Twitter at NERDST Gamers. So that way you guys know when we're live, get notified, all that good stuff. If you like the show, make sure you give us a follow so you can see us next time. But until then, I'm Dre. That's Alex. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Later.
See you guys. Peace.